This is going to seem too good to be true, but cannabis is already federally legal, meaning it can be bought, sold, and shipped across state lines, and almost everyone is wrong about it. Not because the states voted on it, not because the DEA changed their mind, but because the law accidentally allowed it. And nobody updated the story. So pay attention, because once you see how this actually happened, it makes Schedule 3 completely irrelevant. Most people think legal weed means dispensaries. Your state votes on it, they open dispensaries. Mission accomplished, we have legal weed. And most people think hemp is just CBD. Maybe Delta 8, something synthetic, fake weed, diet weed, something along those lines. But those two assumptions are the entire problem, because this whole misunderstanding didn't start with a vote politically. It started with chemistry. See, the media and the news just told everyone smoke shops were just selling hemp-derived THC. That phrase stuck. Regulators never corrected that phrase. Some states banned the hemp products, others didn't. But the federal government did nothing, so nothing changed. So the public, and more importantly, cannabis users, stopped asking questions. They just wrote it off as fake hemp. But here's the part that nobody actually knows. The cannabis plant grows THCa, not THC. THCa is non-psychoactive until we heat it. That's why we have to smoke weed. If we didn't have to smoke weed, we would just eat it raw. Maybe crush it into powder and use it as a spice or something. That's why raw weed doesn't get you high. This is not new. This has always been true. We just never talked about it before. So your dispensary weed, THCa. Your illegal black market plug, THCa. Weed that was smuggled from Mexico across the border, THCa. Medical, recreational, black market, it's all the same molecule. And that chemistry detail is what the 2018 Farm Bill accidentally legalized. So the 2018 Farm Bill legalized all cannabis with a dry weight of 0.3% Delta-9 THC. However, it did not limit THCa, because lawmakers just don't know what the f it is. Or maybe they did. That's a topic for another video. So let's assume they thought they were only legalizing CBD. So they legalized the entire cannabis plant as long as the Delta-9 THC content stays below 0.3% before it's combusted. That's not a loophole or an opinion. That's court-tested reality. And this is where people get extremely confused, because the industry took a very strange detour. At first, businesses were converting CBD isolate into THC using chemistry. This is where Delta-8 THC came onto the market in 2019. It's legal, it's synthetic, and it is technically compliant. That honestly freaked everybody out, because inhaling synthetic cannabinoids just feels sketchy. So regulators focused on the wrong problem. But in 2023, something huge happened. Businesses realized they don't need synthetics at all. They could just sell real flower, also known as THCa flower. It's the same weed, it's the same genetics, it's just a different legal framework to sell it through. Businesses started online stores and accepted orders through online credit card payments. They even had UPS hemp accounts to ship their product across state lines, and they had lab tests showing exactly what was in their products. And this was precisely the moment when marijuana companies started panicking, because hemp did everything that marijuana could not do. Hemp had banking, hemp had credit card processing, hemp had interstate commerce, and a very low barrier to entry that anyone could get started in with less than $10,000. A marijuana license typically requires $1 million plus just to qualify, let alone getting approved for the license. And that $1 million price tag isn't just an argument of consumer safety. It's a gatekeeping method. So you may have heard about a 12-month ban that's coming to the entire hemp industry, where effective of 2026 of November, no companies are allowed to sell hemp. Real bans don't come with a 12-month grace period. After having a private conversation with one of the top cannabis policy lobbyists in the hemp industry, I'm personally of the opinion that this is not a ban. This is a probation period. It is a timeout. It is a time for bad actors to weed themselves out of the industry. This is a time for age verification. This is also a time to implement consumer safety protocols. Basically, it's time to formalize what already exists and improve it. Every lobbyist would agree that if this was a real ban, it would be effective immediately, which brings us to the real solution to federal legalization. Stop chasing Schedule 3 because it doesn't give interstate commerce, it doesn't lower prices, and it doesn't free the market. The fastest path to cannabis freedom is expanding hemp, not rescuing marijuana. The law already exists. The infrastructure already exists. The only thing we are missing at this moment is public understanding. If you want to support this system of cannabis freedom, please go support our friends over at myhealthyusa.org, the people fighting for us to keep our freedom in the cannabis industry. Please share this because cannabis is not illegal. The story is.